How is it going, guys? Today we are installing the OLM V1 fourth brake light. You guys may have seen me install the V2 on the car already. This is obviously a little bit different and the wiring is different as well. There's 4 different options. This is the clear lens with the red bar. There's also a clear lens with white bar, and then both those options are available with a smoked lens as well. These do come with their own plug and play harness to make things simple. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to get this installed on the car. We'll run through the functions and I'll throw the other options on there as well to show you how they look. To remove the OEM reverse light, there's gonna be 3 pop clips on the underside of the bumper. That allows us to pop this cover off. There's 2 10mm bolts holding the reverse light in place. We'll slide this straight back and then disconnect the connector for the reverse light. We'll remove the tail light next. I recommend removing the driver's side tail light. Underneath this cover, there's gonna be 2 10mm screws, and there's also one up top here. This just pops off, so just slide either a plastic pry tool or a flathead screwdriver and carefully pry this towards the back of the car. We can slide the taillight off of the car. Yours, if you haven't done this before, is going to be a lot harder than this. It's going to want to fight you, so just keep working it back and forth until it pops off the tab on the outside. And then we need to unplug it. With the taillight out of the way, we're going to take our quick connect harness and feed the ends with the leads down towards the light we removed in the bumper. It's a pretty open space down here, so you should be able to just go straight down and retrieve it from underneath the bumper. And then we'll connect the OEM harness to the quick connect. And you want to leave enough slack so you can plug the taillight in, and we'll get the taillight reinstalled. So this plugs into the taillight. And we'll slide this back onto the car, make sure the tab on the side is lined up. Reinstall the bolts, get the cover back on, and then we can move on to the actual installation of the light. Before we install the light, I want to run through some of the wiring with you guys real quick. We've got the connector for the reverse light, which has the ground for the rest of the functions as well. We have these 2 leads here, a red and green one. These will not have the connectors crimped on, so go ahead and take the included connectors and crimp them on. I've used the female connectors here. The green is going to be the running light, and the red is going to be the brake light. We'll also have another pair of leads, a black and red one that already have the connectors crimped. This is to connect the included switch that's going to control the F1 function. We'll install this later once the light is on the car. And then for the quick connect harness, we have a bunch of different leads here. We're only going to be using 2 of these. So we'll be using the red and the pink one. The red is going to be your brake light, and the pink is going to be the running light. So red is going to go to red on the light, and pink is going to go to green. Make sure you crimp on the correct connectors on here. So since we crimped on the female connectors on this end, we want the male connectors on the quick connect harness. I've taken the leads for the quick connect and routed them through the same hole that the reverse light connector comes out of. Again, we only need the red and the pink one. So now we can connect our new light. The reverse light plug is simple enough. Then we'll take the leads for the brake and running light. The red is going to go to red, and green is going to go to pink. We'll feed the leads for the switch through the same hole, and then we'll need to pull all of this excess into the back of the bumper where we'll zip tie it away. We do have quite a bit of excess wire, so technically you could snip some of this off if you didn't want to deal with it, but we're gonna leave it on here for now. The light installs just like the OEM one, so there's 2 tabs up top that you need to line up. And then we reinstall the 2 10mm bolts. This light comes with its own bumper cover that's a little bit bigger so you can see more of the light. So this is going to replace the OEM one. Pops right into place. And then we need to replace the 3 clips on the bottom. Don't worry, we'll deal with this stuff in a little bit. Underneath the car, you'll want to zip tie the excess wiring away except for the leads for the switch. There is a couple harnesses up there that you can zip tie them to keep them out of the way. For the leads for the switch, there's a couple things that we can do. You can either install the switch outside of the car, which is what I'm going to do because I need to take this light on and off, or for a more thorough installation, there are plugs underneath the car in various places that allow you to route the wiring to the trunk and keep it tucked away. So if you want to go that route, find a plug, either cut a hole in it, poke a hole in it, or remove it and route the wiring up to the trunk, and then you can install the switch in there and find a spot for it. But like I said, I'm just going to install the wiring underneath the car and install the switch here for the sake of this install video. Hopping inside the car, we'll run through the functions. I'll start by turning the lights on. So this is going to be the running lights, the 2 red bars. If I step on the brake, the middle section of the light should be lit up, and I have the F1 function turned off right now, so when I step on the brake, it should just be a solid brake light. We'll go into reverse here, and that should be the 4 corners, very similar in placement to the OEM light, so bright LEDs for the reverse light. And then I'm going to turn the lights off and step on the brake again. And I'm going to hop out and turn the F1 function on. Now when I step on the brake, it should flash. So there's the F1 blinking function. And I'll turn the lights on and brake so you can see that. And there you have it. Let's go ahead and swap in the other lights so you can see how those look. One thing I almost forgot to mention that some of you may have noticed, after I turned on the F1 blinking function, it only flashed the first time I pressed the brakes. After that, it stayed solid, and that's how it's designed. That way, if you're tapping the brake multiple times in a short period of time, you're not annoying the crap out of the other drivers around you. After about 10 seconds off of the brake, that resets and it'll flash again once you step on the brake. And there you go, guys. That is the install for the OLM V1 4th brake lights. I know some people were worried about the reverse lights not being bright enough on the V2s. That's certainly not the case with these because there's a lot more LEDs for that reverse function. It's also a little bit less busy than the V2. There's no startup sequence. What you see is what you get. So let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Which version do you prefer? Or maybe you like the OEM one, the V1, V2, or something else that you've seen. Comment down below. If you guys are interested in this light for yourself, the links are down in the description. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.